Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Filling the Void. We are going to answer the question, or at least attempt to answer the question, can you beat Raid Shadow Legends using only Void champs? This is pretty exciting. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this challenge. I do want to give a shout out to Trax. He is a member of the community, and he's been doing this. He started this a couple of months ago, maybe even. And it's been pretty interesting to watch him do it, keep up with his progress, and it's got me itching to try it myself. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start an account. I'll explain a little bit more throughout this video about how we're doing it and what our plans are. But I do again want to give a big shout out to Trax for I guess inspiring me to do this. The concept itself is not new. You know, there's a lot of people that do like light dark challenges and Summoner's War and stuff, and that's not as approachable. It's never really felt as approachable in Raid, but there's a couple of things going on right now that make this feel a little bit more approachable. So I'm gonna get through this tutorial and a little bit through the actual in-game tutorial. While I do that, I'm gonna give you a word from our sponsor. You may have looked at this shirt and gone, man, he's wearing a much nicer shirt today than he usually is. And that's thanks to the sponsor of today's video. So let's hear about them. I'm gonna get to through the tutorial and we'll be back soon. Big shout out to Into the AM for partnering up with me for this video. This came at a really good time for me. I don't know if you've noticed, but your boy's shirts have been a little ratty lately. So maybe they saw a couple of my videos and were like, you know what, let's do this dude a favor. Send him some new shirts. So they reached out to me. We decided to partner up, and I'm really pleased with the shirts. I'm really happy with them. I'm probably going to hit the site up and buy some more, to be honest. I'll show you a couple more that they sent me. This one's kind of a minimalistic design, which I'm a big fan of, but they also do some really big, heavy on the art design graphic tees. And if I know some of y'all, I think there's going to be quite a few of y'all that are really going to be into this one. That's a really cool design, and the colors, my camera doesn't do it justice, but the colors are really vivid. Just a lot of really cool stuff on the website, and it's not just t-shirts. They do all kinds of stuff. They've got a t-shirt club. It's like a monthly subscription where you can get a shirt sent to you every month for way less than it would usually cost, which I think is pretty cool. And on top of that, if you want to use my link down below and use the code JGigs, you'll get 10% off of the entire site. Anything you want to buy on the site is 10% off with my link. So again, big shout out to them for reaching out to me and wanting to work with me. I will look forward to working with them long term, honestly. And yeah, I appreciate them. I appreciate you guys checking out my sponsors. Again, be sure and click the link down below and go give them a look. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, we're through the tutorial. So let's talk about what this is going to entail, how we're going to attempt to do it, and how we're even going to get started, because you don't even get a Void champ for a little while in the game. So one of the things we did is we used a link that is supposed to grant us a Light Sworn. Now, he is not in our roster yet. Sometimes I think it takes a minute to come through. The other thing we're doing is we used a promo code, and I can't type it in right now, but I'll put it on the screen. The promo code we used is Japan Raid, and that gave us an Oboro, which is going to be very helpful. So we're starting off with a Light Sworn and an Oboro. Again, I don't have the Light Sworn yet. Sometimes they take a minute to come through. But let's take a look at her, because I'm not super familiar with her actually, but we're gonna have to get very familiar with her because she's one of the two champs that we have at our disposal right now. So we got a defense down on the A1, unless if the target is under 4 or more debuffs, she'll AoE. A 2-hitter, transferring all debuffs from this champion to the target. First hit has a chance of stealing buffs when attacking under Veil or Perfect Veil. Crit rate and crit damage buff on herself, then attacks one enemy. And if she crits, she puts Perfect Veil on herself. Revive on death on herself for 3 turns when they receive Veil or Perfect Veil. All right, so she's going to be handy. She's going to be interesting. Again, we're going to get to know her very well in this account. Now, as far as some of the rules as we move forward, basically, we can't utilize anything that's not a Void champ. They can't contribute to the success of a battle. We can't use their leader skills. We can't throw gear on them to get through something. The only time a champion that's not a Void champion can get into a fight is to be used as food, really. Now, there will be a couple of times through the missions and challenges where I'm gonna have to do things like 6-star spirit champs. I'm going to have to do things occasionally with these champs, but they'll never have gear on. And to the best of my ability, I will never be utilizing them, right? If I get someone to 6-star, even or 5-star max or whatever, even without gear in the lower stages, they might technically contribute, but they'll never be doing anything I need them to do. Again, I won't be using leader skills. I won't be utilizing them. They'll be there to serve the purpose of being food or getting through a mission or challenge. Man, my rat has been drinking water for 11 minutes straight. And I sat here for about 6 of them, waiting on him to stop, and he stopped. And now I've started going again, and he has not stopped to take a breath, dude. I don't know if it's coming through the mic or not, but anyway, that's really what it boils down to. We can use them in faction guardians, right? If I start getting dupes of non-voids, we can throw them in there. Like in all the other ways that they exist, it's fine. I just can't use them in battle. They cannot contribute to the success of any battles, okay? So that being said, I initially, when I first thought about doing it, I was like, I'm just going to feed everything that's not a void. But I think it might behoove me over time to keep things, because if I start getting epic and legendary dupes, there's a chance that could contribute. You know, we will eventually get a void legendary on this account. We will start pulling void epics on this account. And it'll be nice to have the faction guardians contributing to that as possible. Now, again, the odds that I'm going to get dupe legendaries and a void legendary in the same faction are incredibly low, but I might as well just stick them in the vault. You know what I mean? So other than that, there's really no rules. Nothing's different. It's free to play. We're going to go through the game. We're going to figure out how to solve all the problems that we can figure out how to solve with void champs only. And again, if a challenge or a mission makes us use something that's not void for something, we will do that, but they will not be utilized in any meaningful way. All right. So first things first, I want to think about, I know that I want to start working on this fusion as soon as possible. Broadmaw's pretty good. They buffed Broadmaw a while back. Broadmaw is a pretty killer support. So the quicker I can finish this fusion, the better. I can get these pieces from, I think, the bazaar. So it's going to take a little bit, but we're going to do it as quickly as we can. But that'll set me up with Lightsworn when he comes through, Obero, and Broadmaw. And that's a pretty good trio to be rolling with before we even pop any void shards. All right. So let's go ahead. I don't even think I really have any gear to put on her yet. We'll accumulate some gear as we go. But for now, we're going to throw her into the fight. Now, again, this is kind of tricky because I guess what I need to do is pull my gear off of Aethel, because I am going to have Aethel in the mix. Am I going to use Aethel as food, or am I going to keep her for potential dupes? Aethel might end up getting used in Faction Guardian, so we'll put her there. But these two will be food. So let's jump back in here and get to it. It's going to be interesting to see how much she can do without gear. But whatever gear we get here, we'll put on her. We'll just upgrade her as we go. We're pretty familiar with the early game grind at this point. So what I'm really interested to see, there's a few things throughout this journey that I'm going to be very interested to see. One of them is what void rares are going to impress me, right? Because we're gonna kind of be forced to utilize a lot of things that we ordinarily would not be. And like with my newer free to succeed that I'm doing, I'm kind of doing that, but it's on a much more widespread basis, and it's a little bit harder to do because I'm inevitably going to pull some other useful stuff. Here, I'm going to just have to utilize stuff that I would not ordinarily do because we have to solve all the problems exclusively from the void pool, which I think is going to be very interesting to do. I think Clan Boss is going to be quite an undertaking. There's going to be some really interesting stuff. Now, if we get like a Paragon, that's going to make the campaign situation much more manageable. We might get to do some more interesting things with someone like Renegade, who generally I haven't done much with. There's some specific things that Renegade's cool to use for, but as far as actually using Renegade, I haven't done much of that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. If we pull a Cold Heart or something, that's going to be crazy, right? I think it's going to be even crazier than on a normal account. But then there's some like easily obtainable stuff that we can't get our hands on to help us solve some of the problems, like Armiger, for example. We can't use Armiger, and Armiger's really handy for some earlier game problems. And I think I even used him, I think on my main account that's got a ton of money and time into it. I think I still had Armiger on like my Dragon 24 or 25 team, whichever one of those was Force. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. I'm very excited to see who stands out, who impresses me in the Void Rares. I'm excited to get familiar with the Void champs in the game. So yeah, it should be fun. I don't know when my Lightsworn's gonna come through. I guess if he doesn't come through by the next time I want to record a video, I may have to try to do it again. Maybe something went wrong when I created the account. I might have to do it again. So if that's the case, I'll do it again, catch back up to roughly where we are by the end of this video, and pick up. I mean, you'll probably never know. Probably never know what happened. You know what I mean? Here's War Priest. Where's my Lightsworn though? We have to get rid of these red dots too, but that's good. There's goodies in here for us, so. I'll take all this, dude. One nice thing too is that we're getting some pretty nice perception gear right out of the rip. This was actually a pretty decent time to do this. Obro is going to have some pretty good gear potentially by the end of this week. So we are going to get a legendary we can't do anything with. But the good news there is we'll have a Force champ already at 5-star. So when we get to the 6-star Force champ thing, we'll pretty much be there. I mean, we still have to make, it's still going to be grindy to make the food and stuff, but we don't have to bring anyone up from 3 or 4-star or nothing, you know. That'll be nice. All right, so there's all our goodies. Give your boy his Lightsworn now. Today, actually. All right. So anyway, let's throw some gear on her very quickly. You can have that. You can have that. And then I guess you can have that and that. And then for, ooh, you have that, ooh. All right, tomorrow we'll switch. So I guess for now, I'll just have that and that. And I'm not even gonna bother leveling them up right now. Okay, so I will, I think I'll just push the campaign a little bit further today. I won't do anything too drastic for the rest of the account right now. I'm just going to continue to work my way through the campaign. I probably won't do any summons. Maybe I'll pop a few green shards because those are irrelevant. Even if I pull a good rare from a green shard, it doesn't matter because they're either going in the vault or getting used as food. So yeah, we'll push our way through the campaign a little bit more, maybe level up a little bit of gear here and there, and report back tomorrow with our progress. But I'm pretty excited about this. We will get a clan going when the time is appropriate. When I can. Yeah, when I can make a clan and stuff, we'll get a clan going. And if you decide you want to follow along here, great. You know, jump on in and make you a Void only account. And again, big shout out to Trax for inspiring the idea. And I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited. I'll see you tomorrow.